You're live now.
All right, ready?
Yep, you're good.
All right, how y'all doing? I'm Dalen at Antioch High. I'm a junior.
Hello, everybody. My name is Maurice Wafer, Antioch High, 11th grade.
Hello, everybody. My name is Najee from Antioch High, and I'm in 11th grade.
All right, so what we're gonna be talking about is basically the imprisonment and how it's dictating our society.
So,
We're gonna talk about imprisonment.
so talking about imprisonment, 'cause, like, yeah, ain't imprisonment when, like, not just only black people, but like other people and races, like, certain, white, blacks,
Yeah,
like, so all them type of people are just not only just profiled, but they're just, in jail in general.
yeah.
Shouldn't be in a cage. Okay.
And Najee, what is your description of imprisonment?
My description of imprisonment, what I think about it is, like, what it means to me, I just think about, like, race and about, like, the world and how it changed and how people was, like, going to jail and stuff and how other people, like, people see us black people as, like, the problem and see us as people that's not going to be successful in life, is not going to go nowhere.
Mm.
And, yeah.
All right, and I want to talk about the way peer pressure and guilty by association can lead to imprisonment around our society. Do y'all want to answer that first?
Yeah, I mean, peer pressure and guilty by association both fall like in the same category.
Yeah.
Because when you're peer pressure, there's other people leading you to something that you're not comfortable with,
Mm.
and then guilty by association is when you're just caught with the people that you wasn't supposed to associate with.
Mm.
So again, like either way, I feel like both lead to imprisonment, and like, I mean, the way that it can happen is obviously is when you're found you found a pickle.
Yeah.
You stuck, you lost, and you have nothing to do but end up surrendering with the other people that you were with, that you weren't even supposed to be with. So honestly, I feel like that's the only way that can lead to imprisonment is if you simply just not really being aware to your instincts, but you just want to do your own thing.
Feel that?
What I think, basically what Marie said, I just feel like, wait, what was the question again?
The question was the way peer pressure and guilty by association can lead to imprisonment.
I just feel like it can lead to a way how people think and just how like nervous and stuff they is, and how they don't have no guidance and stuff in the life, and how nobody is surrounding them on what to do in the world.
For me, I feel like the way peer pressure and guilty by association like dictates how our society and how our future will be within our lives. It's like when you guilty by association, you're around the wrong crowd doing the wrong thing. So, and especially in high school, that happens a lot, and that's the reason why a lot of people end up in prison doing something that they not usually comfortable doing stuff trying to crowd please to another person, and it doesn't work out for them for the end. It all just goes, it's like it's a loop. Everybody try to be something that they not, and then it ends up to a bad problem that they know that they shouldn't be in. Then they get to start thinking about the wrongdoings instead of they should have been thought about that when it first happened. A lot of people, they get to start thinking they willy nilly, they free will, all that until stuff really hit the fan. When it hit the fan, ain't no coming back. You out of there. No trouble. Yeah though, but like yeah, it's like especially for our school, like we got a lot of people who for surely is very, very, very accounted on guilty by association and peer pressure, because a lot of people start smoking from peer pressure, and a lot of people start toting guns because of peer pressure. A lot of people get to start just doing things out of the ordinary that they know that they not used to, and
Yeah.
that only leads to one thing. We know that. Yeah, we know that. Yeah, it's a lot of people, end up dead or in jail just doing the wrongdoing. So it's like it's hard to move around. It's hard to move around when there's certain people around that's doing wrongdoing. So a lot of people who don't know that they stuff figured out, they get to start being lost, and it's over with.
Yeah.
Now though, but do y'all think the main reason we have people going to jail early or dying young is due to the communities?
That is a good question too,
Mm.
because like when it comes to the community,
Yeah.
it's diverse, variety, so it can go by anyone by any standard.
Yeah.
And normally, based off the book that we're reading in class about Stevenson, in his case, you know, there's people that have bad influences. There are people that really can't do nothing about their community because, you know, they just in that stage where they're just learning about new things. But the things that they're learning about is just their own trauma and their own terror that they go through within their community. So, I mean, the only way or option that they have is either to commit to that trauma or just to stick with it or to try to do something about it. So, like, when it comes to this, yes, I really do feel like it's our community. But deeply, it depends on the people in the community if they want to change that, though.
What I think it's a 50-50 chance. I feel like that our community is just like, it's not on the right place. I feel like people just see other people doing stuff and they just want to like follow behind and not just take accountability of themselves and not just be their own person. And I just feel like our community just watching all that and just thinking like we should just be a better place and just be a better community and a better group in our environment and stuff. And yeah.
Definitely.
No, yeah, for sure. I'm not gonna lie. A lot of people, I ain't gonna lie, one thing that stuck with me is troubled child brings dark days. And that really is a true thing. Like, it's really a true thing. Yeah. People doing bad doings, you know, it don't lead up to one thing, but family, it's gonna lead up to something bad though. You keep doing that, you gonna see the trauma for that. You gonna see the karma for that. And it's gonna keep adding on. And it sees in the long run. Cause again, we still got a lot of people in our school. Y'all know, y'all see it all around. Just, it's a loss. It look like a lost mind. You know, it look like a lost mind. They don't know what they doing. And especially, you know, school don't stop for nobody. You gonna keep going. And when it hits your senior year and it start hitting the fan, what you gonna do? So that just been what it been for real. Around our, I ain't gonna lie, around our communities though, it's like that's when the peer pressure parts goes about. It's like they just can't help themselves. It feel like they just can't help themselves. It's like they basically just trying to crowd please just for the better doings of somebody else's life instead of think about the ones about around them and their self. It's messed up around here for sure. I ain't gonna lie, it's messed up around here.
Yeah, man.
But really, with the communities part, it's like the only reason I feel like the gap is where the gap is at is that some communities have the resources, have the people in their ear, have the right things and the right mindset of the round people around them, which gets them to a better point in life. But when the people who don't have the right doings around them, it gets start messing them up. Like it's over with. Like it's raps. Like it's nothing else to do.
I go like it deeply. It feels like in this community, it's like the blind leading the blind.
Yeah, like literally, it's literally the blind leading the blind, and it's messed up to say. I'm not gonna lie, but it's a huge majority of our population going like that. The blind leading the blind, and that's what's like. It's like dang, like you know.
Yeah, man.
It's like just trying to be the separation for the people around you, setting the example, changing the narrative. That's really what it is. The changing the narrative part about it. I'm not gonna lie. Everything else is like, but how can the narrative changes around people of our community? Example, like the garden. Like how can we intertwine that into our communities, into our spaces, into our right doings?
Elaborate on that question.
So how the garden was feeding and providing for others around the community, helping around, combining a community around, showing that some people have the same struggles, but we all can be there for each other, and as long as we're all there for each other, we can all do the right doing.
For sure. Yeah, because like at the end of the day, you know, they all might have the same seed or different seed. And they all grow in the same field. Yeah. And, you know, they all going to need that same resources regardless of what planet it is. So, honestly, if we can come from a garden and to enter, you know, just to kind of involve it in our community, it's obviously going to choose equality over quantity, quality over quality even, trying to be able to just understand the fact that, you know, we all human. That we all make mistakes. And that the things that we do, we know we're going to be accounted for. We know we're going to be judged for it. But at the end of the day, we use that to build that for the stage of success. So, you know, we just kind of go along the ways of life, and that's kind of how it got to be sometimes. You know? Sometimes it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes it's not always going to be great. Because, you know, even when the rain falls, that's when the flowers start to bloom. So, you know, it's good for us to be able to have a garden in the community to understand that we gonna always need some space to grow.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. Another thing that we need more activities to do around.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah.
I feel like for us, it's like the only thing for kids around here, like Antioch, Brentwood, Oakley, Pittsburgh. It's like we have to go 30 minutes, 20 minutes out to go do an extracurricular or to go do a good activity.
Yeah.
You can't really do nothing out here. It's like they get to start tripping over the littlest things, but then when you go somewhere else, you see the freedom that they have because of the things around them. And it's like, dang, like I wish we had that.
Yeah.
Like, we don't got like the streets. Yeah, it's okay, but let's be honest, it's played out now. It's played. It's played. It's over. It's played. So you know, it's like it's falling off. And then the movies, you know, they stop caring about the movies. That one movie that closed down, that been closed for what? How long? Like crazy.
Elementary school.
Yeah, like that be closed for stupid long. So it's it's nothing really to do. You know, you got the movies, then you got what else? You probably got a little shoe store, you feel me?
Yeah.
And then the mall is raps. Mall rap. Like, you know, like the mall raps.
Definitely.
So it's like we can't really do nothing. It's like we have to go somewhere else, somewhere far out of our way.
Yeah.
Just to go live our life.
And out of our community.
Yeah, like we trying to we need something within our community to help better.
Yeah, but like, you know, sometimes even though I'm not saying that you can never give up on the community.
Yeah.
But you know, sometimes separation can create elevation.
Yeah.
Come back and then you can give out diverse.
Come back and elevate the whole
Solely,
come back
bro.
and elevate the whole community.
Definitely, bro.
And that's what's needed. We need to inspire people that's coming back to the community, showing the right doings instead of just everybody being around showing the wrong doings. We need the people coming back doing the right doings for our community to show a better outcome within.
Solely, bro. Yeah.
You know, like people can't be having prejudiced thoughts if you don't know what's the backstory between others. Like, you know, you never know what's going on. Like, you literally never know what's going on.
Yes.
It's crazy out here. I'm not gonna lie. And us having this LMC class, it really awoken how I thought about the doings of others, like the thoughts of others, and how it can really change and deceive your mind to others. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy.
It's you're like breaking out your comfort zone, but mentally.
Yeah,
like, you be strapped to yourself with your own thoughts, your own sights. But sometimes you gotta be able to put yourself in another person's perspective.
Literally though,
Understand what they go through. So.
And that's why I feel like we need in this class. This class was a very right doing. Like,
Definitely.
I ain't gonna lie, they put us in I mess with this class for sure.
Solely, but Ms. Jackson.
Like the way how the material, the way how we all coordinate in the same way, and we all end up going to the same peak with each other.
Yeah.
It's very good. I'm not gonna lie.
Absolutely.
Best class I ever had. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, best class I ever had for sure.
Man.
One thing I feel like the garden, we should have had some chickens though. Everything was it was good though. I ain't gonna lie. It was definitely good though. It was definitely good to see what people don't see that's under the light. You know? Like you never see stuff like that unless you go see for yourself.
For sure, bro.
People don't want to show what people doing for the right of the community, but they want to for surely bash every time you see something going on. I ain't gonna lie, if y'all been peeping recently, but I don't know if this is just me, but every time it's something going on with a kid and it's bad, your parents is the first one there to tell you about it. Like the first one to tell you something about it.
On the dot.
Like on the dot. They don't be talking about the good doing. There's something bad, they right on you about it. It's crazy.
Surely, bro, definitely.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
That's why just changing the narrative is the best thing to do. Just to show who you really are as a person for real.
Yeah.
Being able to separate yourself around.
Yeah.
And that's all that be needed.
Surely, man.
Nah though, but it was a good podcast. I'm Dalen.
I'm Maurice.
I'm Najee.
Yeah, we out.
For sure, man.
That's it, right? Yeah, that's it. Hey, Mr. McCutcheon, it's off, right?
You done? I'm done. All good?
Yeah, we cool.
They say 20 minutes.
Bro. So this was you guys
Oh, sick.
out there on the hall. People were watching. You had an audience out there.